Hello and welcome. This is very important. Once you click on this icon, a timer appears. You have to finish the event before that timer runs out or you don't get the car, you just get the rewards. Alright, this is stage 4, and this first race, this is difficult. I'm starting with all stage 1 upgrades, and still, it took me a while to make this work. Now, if you just drive straight from this point and finish this stage, you can do that without a problem. You'll be able to reach average speed, but you're gonna finish higher than I wanted to finish. I wanted to finish in last place while still reaching average speed for bot management to try to keep the goals easier going forward and keep the bots easier. So to do that, we've got to log average speed going the wrong way. You can't just sit there and wait till bots pass you. So this is tricky. Really pay attention to where I stopped and turned around, or else your car avoidance will be different than mine. So I know that now I got to go to the right. There's going to be 2 white cars on my left. Now I go back to the left. There's going to be a red car. And now I can brake, wait for this blue car to go by. Now go to the inside for the first red car to go by. Zoom. Then I'm going to go to the right. And the white car, go back to the left. Another blue car, yellow car. Now I can carefully turn around. Another blue car will appear. And I've got to be very on the ball here. Really push it to reach my average speed. This took me an embarrassingly long amount of time. Sometimes I get a bit obsessed, and I think I spent a half hour on this. But you know what? That's okay, because this is helping me to hone my braking points, which could be very important in other parts of stage 4. So I don't regret this, because it's a learning experience. Now, in real life, I just spent 3 hours driving through a blizzard in the night. Blizzard is a really bad snowstorm where there's a lot of blowing snow and it's hard to see, and I would just 3 hours of being really intense watching for wildlife to be on the highway, and I'm not sleeping yet. So I'm working on my video because I knew I couldn't get to sleep. So that's what I'm doing. After 3 hours of intense driving, I did more intense driving. Virtually less consequences, no deer or moose to hit or ditches to run into, and yeah, saw a bit of that. Okay, I'm already hitting average speed. Pretty cool. So now I just need to really nail this, and I should be okay. I clipped the wall. This event is more old school. What I mean is like no off track, like not even a fraction of a second for a lot of stages, even at the early points, and things like no damage. That's the way these used to be, these recommended PR events. That's what I like. It's a challenge. That's why people like me keep playing this game, for stuff like this. It's a nice challenge. So there we go. Looked easy. Took me a long time to work that out. And earnings were horrible. Oh well. This one's also interesting. This one didn't take me long to nail. So gotta hit speed 4 times. You can't get overtaken. So as soon as you pass a bot, you cannot let him pass you back. So you got to really plan where's your speed run that's going to happen. So I decided my first speed run will be here. I'm going to catch a little bit of draft from the F40LM, I think it is, pretty sure. So just a little bit of draft, not much. I'll hit speed here once, and then really nail this braking point so you can hit speed a second time. Very short braking point there. Got to hit speed here. Got to drive it in a bit deep. There you go. So I'm watching just to see when did I actually hit speed. Have to hit speed here too. Take this wide. So we're going to drive it in deep again. There's 2 really big green patches on the right there. Shortly after that, there's a little anomaly on the grass. You can brake a little bit after that. It's on the right-hand side. Now here, we also have to set up our last speed run. There we go. That should be beautiful. Ooh, that's getting close to off track. Go to the far left to lengthen the track. Oh, could have been farther than that. How close does this get? That's pretty close. There we go. So that's how I did that. I don't mind finishing 5th. That's okay. And this one's interesting. You do have to push it. All of this is a little bit tricky with just stage 1 upgrades. So I decided to rough up Zoe a little bit. If you do this too much, you will fail. So don't get too crazy with Zoe. But that's enough just to slow her down a little bit. And then you got to push it. Push it, push it, push it. And this is 3 laps. work on your braking points, okay? Try to drive this as fast as you can. You really need this for the next race. So here, you really want to push that. It's amazing to me how late I can brake at this braking point here. This is a very difficult corner, one of the hardest corners in the game for me. It's a parabolic shaped corner, and all I mean by that is a really wide sweeping corner like the famous Parabolica at Monza. Those corners are really hard to really maximize. That's what I find. They're just hard to maximize. Like, you don't want to be braking any earlier than you have to. You want to get at the throttle at the right time. It's really tricky. So really work on that while you're doing this particular race. This one isn't easy though. Just being honest, it's not easy. Like there, I could have been on the throttle earlier, and so I gotta work. I definitely had to do more homework and work. You see the little red second section there? We're gonna talk about that the very next lap. There's a red section on the inside of the curb. There's two of them. The second one, you want to have your race line. For me, it's the word trajectory. You want to have your path through the corner so that you can be full throttle at that point. So you take the corner just a hair wide, so your car is kind of lined up with that red line, and then you can be on the throttle and power out of that corner really nicely. I don't like going off track for this corner in these cars. And that wasn't great. So let's just see how well I can set it up this time. Okay, on the brakes nicely. So the second section here, see that? Not good. That is where you want to be on the throttle. I just didn't have the car pointed in quite the right direction. But it's okay. So Zoe is just rounding that. Yeah, this'll be it. This corner's tricky too, and that corner's so important because you got a huge speed run. Now, of course, Zoe's in an older Ferrari. She's going to be, so, there we go, overtake there. Okay, now we get to the really difficult stage. Not kidding, guys. I bet you I spent an hour on this race. Okay, first pointer happens right now. We're going to do a freeze frame. Okay, they're starting us. Did they start us with enough speed? Well, good question. Check it out. At the line, 262, okay? Watch this. Throw the brakes on and turn around, okay? First thing you're gonna do, you're gonna turn around and you're gonna go back a little bit. The timer didn't start yet, right? Check it out. No timer started yet, so it doesn't matter. And we're gonna go back a ways. You'll have my reference point. Again, if you don't have the right trajectory or race line, this could give you trouble. When I'm doing something like this, when it starts taking me a while, I try to pick a point on the track where I can start from and then go full throttle. So I'm going to back up here, over from the gray, pretty well straight over. Now I'm full throttle. Drive straight for a bit, start my turn. I think I could have even started further. Yeah, I could have started further back. Really far to the left. Really lengthen this track out and check out my speed at the line. Let's freeze frame it and compare. 24 kilometers an hour faster, all right? That just saved us time. Very important. Now, I don't really like how I took corner one, but this is going to be successful, so you watch very closely here. I'm keeping all four tires on track for my braking. See that? See that power on point? I was talking about that. That was perfect. That was a perfect acceleration point and braking point. I'm very happy. Watch on the right. Here's that strange grass anomaly. I'm braking about a car length after that. I wish I was a little bit earlier into that corner, but then here I was braking just before the curve started. All extremely difficult. Like this would be a high Group B time if this was a weekly time trial tournament. Like, look at this. Like, come on. Hardly any time left on that clock, right? Awesome. So there we go, guys. I'll show you my upgrades just the same as I started this day. Please like, please subscribe, drop me a comment. I'll try to answer your questions. Thank you so much for joining me today. Here's the playlist and some other stuff. Bye-bye.